Well, hello.
Yay!
Hi, Cindy.
Hello, Diane.
I know we're back, you guys. It's so fun to be here. So, welcome. We are so glad you're here for our fun with color. And so, we're going to share how this is going to work. But thank you so much for being here. And if you could tell us in the chat that you're here and where you're streaming in from, that would be great. Also, if you could also write your consultant's name that invited you on, that would be fantastic. We have some first-time color guests on today. We have some experienced color guests on today. So we are going to cover from dash out the door to a full-blown color look. And just know, you can keep commenting and stuff. Hopefully your consultant will see and be able to answer any of the questions, because what Cindy and I try to do is just kind of start on time and finish on time. So we will make sure that we answer any of your questions that got missed or whatever at the end. So just let you know that. So before we begin, Cindy and I are already up to speed with our skincare. And so I just thought we would just bring that up first, because in your packet you got from your consultant, you would have either gotten the Time-Wise Miracle Set, and how you know, it'll say 4-in-1 cleanser. And so if you haven't washed your face yet, you're going to go ahead, wet your face real quick. Just take a very little bit of either your 4-in-1 cleanser, or if you have the Time-Wise Repair, yours is going to say foaming cleanser. Okay. So they're one of your first two steps to kind of get you up to the part where Cindy and I are. And so you can just do that real quick right now while I'm talking, and take that washcloth and you're going to lift upward and out to take it back off. So the foaming cleanser actually suds up a little bit on your face, so don't be alarmed. And go ahead and do your neck and your throat as well. You're coming upward, and you always go upward and out, cross your forehead, down your nose and chin, and take it off. Now, for your second step, if you're doing the Miracle Set, your second step is going to be your antioxidant moisturizer. So you take just a very little bit of that, less than a dime's worth, you guys, very little bit of that. Take it, go ahead and put it on your face, going everywhere. We're getting our faces ready for the day. So any of your skincare that you have that has night cream, you're going to use that for later on tonight. Okay. Now, if you did the foaming cleanser because you have the Time-Wise Repair, your second step is going to be the lifting serum. So you're going to just take 2 pumps. Well, you have the little packet. So just put a little bit on your fingertips. And again, put that everywhere. It lifts, it firms. This is like Botox for your face, you guys. Spanx in a bottle. Like, it's incredible. And the whole repair set does have that Voluform patented formula in there that lifts and firms and everything. So I'm sure if you were on our Pampering in a Flash, you remember the difference between the two. But I will just say, I start my gals in their 20s on the Miracle Set, and anybody over 40, I just highly recommend the Time-Wise Repair. And I just want to say that I do have 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds who want the best of the best on the Time-Wise Repair as well. So you get to pick and choose what sounds good for you, and we'll go through how they all come at the end. But I wanted to be able to get you guys up to speed. Then for the Time-Wise Repair, your next step is going to be day cream. So you just squirt a little bit out. A little bit goes a long way. Again, forehead, nose, chin, upper neck and throat. And then your last step for the Miracle Set is your Daytime Defender. And just take a little bit on, and you just kind of pat it into your skin. This has the SPF broad spectrum 30. And so they have that as your last step for getting ready. The only 2 other things I'd like to talk about with your skincare is that you also got the eye cream. And so after your moisturizer is on, you're going to take the eye cream from either of your sets, whichever one you have, and you're going to go ahead and apply it. So you just stipple it around the outer edge of your eye, pat, put it in. I even include my parenting lines up in there. But I just wanted to take a few minutes just to go through that, because if you didn't get the instructions beforehand, I didn't want you to feel lost, okay, for beginning. So we're going to go into how this works. Let us know in the comments that you're up to speed. So that'll be really great. what you're looking for now in your packet is your CC cream. And it's like there's like a little black square. It's gray on one side, black on the other, and it says CC cream. So that's what you're looking for next. So while we kind of share how this is going to work, you're going to have that out, and then you should have a look card there as well, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Oh yeah, to get started, right? Yay. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to jump in and just share real quickly. So this is the giveaway that we're doing. And so we're giving away one biocellulose mask for you playing our tally game. And so Cindy, you want to tell them about this real quick?
Yeah. Yes. So if you've already put some comments in here, if you're already commenting away, you're going to get to put a tally mark for every comment that you make. If we ask a question, if you've told us where you're from, if you've said, yeah, I'm up to date, I'm good, I understand where we're at, anything like that, you comment, you're going to get to give yourself a tally mark. Now, you may have a sheet of paper that already has this all on it in your packet from your consultant. You may have a blank sheet of paper. If a sheet of paper got left out, grab you a blank sheet of paper. We want you to put your name on the top and start your virtual raffle tallies up there. You see how that is there on the right. Put in the middle book, or you'll see that it says book purchase, coffee, join 35 and 90. And we'll explain all that a little bit later, but start giving yourself the tally marks. And then at the end, when we're all finished, oops, I just about pulled my computer off. You're going to screenshot this sheet at the end over to your consultant, and that's how you get into the drawing. So we're very excited y'all are here too. Thanks for all the comments.
Yes. Thank you. And for being on, you guys, and for commenting and tagging your consultant, you're going to go into our cash giveaway. Also, at the very end, there's a feedback form that your beauty consultant sent you on email. That's how you go into this drawing. So it's you commenting throughout, but then it's also filling out that feedback form. She gets credit for you being on here today and participating. And so please fill out that feedback form so you can get into that $350 cash drawing. So you go one time for being on and commenting and trying the products and giving your opinion. You go in another time. We're going to play the name game at the end, where on your sheet you have, it either says the fabulous game or it says everyday heroes, where you get to gift some deserving women in your life with a pampering session, and your beauty consultant sends the packets in the mail to her. So that's awesome. You get one entry in. If you fell in love with something that you tried today, you go back into this drawing for one time every $50 that you spend. You also get a follow-up appointment. So all of our appointments come in 2s and 3s, and you go back in 5 times for sharing your next appointment with a couple of friends. So we'll go through what those are here in a minute too. And then Cindy and I are going to share our story on here. So you guys, just for you giving your opinion and just typing some comments in of, what you liked, what you learned. And again, filling out that feedback form, you'll go in 5 more times because you heard our story and you gave the opinion. You might have even watched one of our stories before this event. So if we got your feedback form, you're already going to go into this 5 times. So that part's really exciting. And then, oh my gosh, if you decide to join us, then you go in 10 more times. Like if you decide you want to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant, a brand ambassador, an influencer, you want to give Mary Kay a try, you go in 10 more times. So we're so glad that you were here today. Well, I've been talking this whole time, but you guys, my name is Diane Cole. I'm a senior sales director with Mary Kay. Been building my business going on 33 years this October. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is my husband, Brian. And when I started the business all the way back in the beginning, we did not have kids. We were newly married, no kids. And then this picture in the upper right-hand corner is with our son, Brendan and Tommy. We had them back to back. And then 5 years later, we added Miss Corinne to the mix, and there the 3 of them are sitting on our first pink Cadillac. We have since then earned 18 free cards with Mary Kay. It has just been an incredible journey. And, Mary Kay always wants us to say that only the top 1% of the sales force has earned a career car in Mary Kay. And so I feel so blessed to have been able to earn 18 free cars in this time period. And then if we fast forward with our kids, our son Brendan and Libby, they got married in August of 2020, and they made us Nana and Pop Pop, and we're so excited about that new title. And this is Miss Hattie over here. And then Tommy and Kelly got married at the end of December. And then our daughter Corinne is in both of these pictures as well. And she is single, and she is living in the Chicago area. And we just feel so blessed that Mary Kay has changed with us, and with all of our moves, with each stage of journey that we have been in, and Mary Kay has changed with us. And so next we have Miss Cindy.
Yes, and early in those stages with Diane, I met Diane. And because she was working her business full circle, which means that when we got together, she told us her goals. She told us that her goal was to become a director. She told us she was building her team as she shared the amazing products with me. Then I heard that. I heard that little dream. I heard that little thing in there. And so I had finally decided to say yes to having a party against my better wishes, but I was being a really good best friend. And so my best friend, Renee, said, we're going to have a party, and it's going to be at your house. And so that's how our journey began. The hairy faced boys there in the middle of the screen, the ones with the beards, they were 7, 4, and 2 when I started this business. And I felt that product on my face, really hadn't taken care of my skin in 7 years. Your mamas know how we do, right? We're just taking care of those kids. We're not paying attention to ourselves. And I felt that Mary Kay on my face, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to have this. And so then I started figuring out, how could I do this? Well, since Diane had told me about the business and the business opportunity, I thought, okay, I've been blessed to be able to stay home with these 3 boys. It's been a blessing, but I sure could use some time away. And so I could tell my husband that I'd started this new job, and it could be this Mary Kay, and he could enjoy his 3 darling little boys in the evening, and I could go be with some girls, have some good girl time, and just make women feel better about themselves while I got my own product at my Mary Kay cost. And so I just thought that was going to be what it was, but it's 30 years later, guys. It's 30 years later. And here I am with Diane. As Diane said, the company makes us tell you that it's the top 1% that earn cars in Mary Kay. And here I am blessed to be picking up our 8th free car in Mary Kay with my friends, my family, my team members, and my customers. Diane and I have gotten to do life together. That's us up in the top right-hand corner at Tommy's wedding, which he was 1 year old, I believe, when she came to my house to sign my papers to start my business. And then Sid and I have been done our journey for 46 years together. He was able to retire. We sold our home. We got an RV. I could do this Mary Kay from anywhere, and I have. And now I'm in a new stage of my life. And again, the Mary Kay is working right along with me and helping me move into that next stage. We have those 4 amazing grandkids who now are the same age my kids were when I started this business. And it's been amazing. So you just never know.
Yay. Oh, so good. So good. So good. So let me I'm going to see real quick. Okay. Yep. So we're going to stop our share here, and we're going to jump into the products that we're going to be using on our face. And we're going to go pretty quickly. You guys are going to have some of these products, and some of them you're not. So for that CC cream, I'm assuming you found it, and you're going to start to apply it. You can apply it with your fingers and bring it downward, but we're going to start with the foundation primer. And we don't have samples of this one. And so you can put it on your fingertips. You can put it on the end of your liquid foundation brush. And and you can apply it any which way. Some of our makeup artists, they bring it upward to go against the pores, so that you're actually filling it in with the primer. And what's so nice is that it just keeps, prevents that oil breakthrough, and then just keeps your look on all day long, which is incredible. So it's just lightweight. It does have a little SPF in it as well, SPF 15, and it's full spectrum. But this is definitely a great product if you get like a glow midday and stuff. This really helps that. And then this is what
silicone base too, just to let you know, it's not creamy. It's a silicone. It's like a silicone base. So it feels really amazing and smooth. Doesn't add any type of a creamy feel to your face at all. And some guys like this too, because it makes you look smoother and almost airbrushed. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, so this is what the CC cream looks like when it comes in the container. You guys have the little sample of it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and squirt some CC cream on my liquid foundation brush, but then I'm also going to mix it with our Luminous foundation. And so in our Time-Wise foundation, we have both luminous and matte. Luminous has more moisture to it, and I just put the wrong color on my thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit of a darker color right on top.
Yeah, and I mix mine on the back of my hand like a little art palette, and then I start applying it because it's so every nothing is exactly wrong. Some of it's just your own little flair.
Yeah, of what you do. And so now I have my mirror. So what I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to, because I did a couple of things, I'm just going to wipe some off on mine. So I love mixing my CC cream with our foundation because it really helps set it to the skin. And so it doesn't move. And I love that. And so I am coming downward because we have facial hairs and we want them to lay down. So with our skincare, we go upward and out. But once we get to foundation, we start to come downward so that those facial hairs lay down. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dab it in. So with your CC cream, it's a lightweight tinted moisturizer. CC stands for complexion correction. And so that's really nice because it's non-transferable. And once you put it on, it's so lightweight and it just helps with minor imperfections. And it's kind of a sheer finish. And so I go ahead and I mix the Luminous foundation on top of mine because I like the longer wear, and I'm also super dry. And so that's why I use Luminous, because I want to keep that moisture in my skin and it'll keep it all day long, you guys. So that part is really good. Okay, Cindy, I was going to go to under eye corrector and concealer.
Me too.
Does that sound good to you? Yep. Okay, so for our guests, you guys don't have a sample of our under eye corrector or concealer, okay? So once you get done your CC cream, the next thing while we're talking through these, you have your look card, and I was going to grab one and I didn't, but you have your look card and there's little cello tops that you want to go ahead and peel off the cheek color and peel off the eyeshadows just to get it ready, because once we get to that spot, you're going to want to be able to dig in. So you can go ahead and open those while we show you what we're doing. So this is the under eye corrector, and the price point is fantastic on this. And what we do is just add a little bit of under eye corrector on each side. And then there's a couple of other uses that you can do with it. So what I do is I have just some spots down on my cheek that I want to make sure that I keep lighter. And so, and even though I use great skincare and even though I have great boosters, I do that. And so then I'm taking a little bit of a under eye concealer and I'm mixing it with the under eye corrector. And Cindy, you can tell them what you're doing with it.
Yeah. So I did my under eye corrector. I do come up beside my nose. I've got some darkness up there by my eyes and nose area. So I take my under eye corrector up there and then come underneath with that. And then I take one of our lighter. And the thing about the under eye corrector too, guys, is the formula is a little different than our concealer. So it's not quite as drying and it's got a peach undertone. So it counteracts anything that's dark and neutralizes it. That's why we have something that's actually called under eye corrector. If you're more in the bronze family, you would go to one of like our light bronze concealer, but all other shades, you're going to all use just under eye corrector. Then I take one of our lighter concealers. I believe this one is actually light ivory. And I just go ahead and kind of use it as a little bit of a highlighter. I use it as an eye primer on my eyes. And then I use it like in the places that you want it to feel like the sun has touched and you want to bring out. So I'm doing the center of our face because we want people to look kind of towards the center. I am going to just use my fingers for my under eye corrector, but we do have a cream shadow brush that can be used for concealers, under eye corrector. You can use it for our cream shadows, that type of thing. But I kind of like the heat of my fingers to do this part around my eyes because it fits in there so good.
And then I just want to mention to you guys, I took a darker concealer as well, and I started to just do a couple of dots where the contouring would go along my jawline underneath my cheeks. So you're going to see me use my same foundation brush and blend all of that in. So I'm going to connect those with the short end of the foundation brush and then bring it around. And then I'm going to come underneath that cheekbone. Then remember, we still have the lighter right there. So I'm just going to dab it so that it blends. I also took it and I came up along my hairline. And so I am just kind of dabbing it so that it creates a little bit of a shadow and brings warmth to my face. Okay, so what we're showing you is highlighting and contouring, and we're doing it right now with concealer and under eye corrector together. Okay, we haven't even got to highlighter yet. Okay, so we're just showing you how to keep it.
Yes, and I'm going to do my contour with a powder in a minute with our powder contour. So I'll do it after I have powdered and done that. And Diane is using our finishing spray.
No.
This is another. Oh, you weren't?
Yeah, no, I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you said no. The finishing spray is kind of like this is the Velcro. This is going to hold everything where it needs to be for hour upon hour. You can do this in layers. And so we are using it right now, and we'll probably use another layer when we get to our powder products after we get those on. You shake it up, you hold it out, and you do that an X and a T. And this is also good for under the arms, on the body, if you're in a very humid area. This is kind of a miracle. I don't know if we have time for the story, but we've got stories about this. It will hold everything in place.
You know, when we go through, all of our appointments, you guys come in 2 to 3. I mean, seriously, people keep coming back on. But our color appointments, and when we do our advanced color workshops, we do them on a Zoom, and we usually do 1 or 2 Saturdays a month. And so that one, we just go like 15 minutes longer. And so we can share some more of the stories. But basically at my son's wedding, which was August of 2020, it was an outdoor wedding. It was sweltering heat. For the rehearsal, I sweated through my clothes. My friends thought I walked through a sprinkler. It was crazy. And then, but those same friends were like, "Did you bring your finishing spray?" And we lifted up my dress. They sprayed my body front and back. My hands were out, and you guys, I did not sweat through for the wedding. And that's why it's a miracle spray. And we also call it our second cell phones, because if we were leaving for the airport and we left our cell phone at home, we turn around, right? So same thing with the finishing spray for me now. Now, what you're seeing me do is you're seeing me take a little bit of our silky setting powder. And so here's our silky setting powder. And I picked like a little bit of a deeper shade because I'm going over those same areas that I contoured, and I'm setting that. And so I'm going over the top. Now I've already done the finishing spray, but I'm doing that next layer because we are going to be outside. It's very humid here. And so we're going to, we're doing it so that the look stays. So again, for our guests, you don't have these products that we are talking through, but once we get to our eyeshadows, our cheek color, and our lips, you'll be able to join right in with us. Okay, did you do translucent?
Our amazing powder brush. And what I did is the silky setting and our translucent. I mixed them together a little bit because I do have a little excess oil. helps actually cut that just a little bit. The cool thing about the Silky Setting Powder is it has plant emollient in it, so it does not give you that dry look. If you're a person that has stayed away from powder, maybe because of your age or because of your dryness of your skin, you need to try the Silky Setting because it has the plant emollient and you're not going to get that feel or that look from it at all. And then I put a little bit of translucent, I just mix them together and pop them on at the same time. And so I did that already. And I
don't pop them on at the same time. I don't pop them on at the same time. So that's just a neat little trick. I do them separate just because of where I put the Silky Setting. But that's so cool. So there are some options for you right there.
Yeah.
Which are fantastic.
And then I'm going to go into.
Are you ready for brows?
Yeah, I could do that. I can contour with my cheeks. So yeah, let's do brows. And I want to use a handy dandy little brow tool here that's got the brow spoolie on one end and the eyeliner brush on the other, and brush those brows up. If you noticed when we were putting on the CC cream, I mean, we just put it everywhere because it's awesome because of the antioxidants and anti-aging that are in the CC cream to put it everywhere. But so you might have to brush up the brow a little bit. And then I'm going to go to our brow liner, our micro tip brow liner. And I do use brunette in this. We have some other shades. It's a very tiny little micro tip. And I use the brunette because I am dark still underneath. And so, and in the back. So that's the color of my eyebrows still too. So I'm going to start with that and just kind of do an outline around my brows. And I'm going to start underneath.
And I just want to say, you guys, that no matter what your age is, filling your brows in are always going to complete your look. But if as you get older, doing your brows is going to actually take years off of your age. Okay. So my daughter, who is, 25, when she's doing a full look, she'll go ahead and take a little bit of hazelnut, which is one of our eyeshadows, and she'll just fill in a little bit with hazelnut because she doesn't have any like missing spots. Like we're using the Precision brow liner to go ahead and do like just little baby strokes so that where hairs maybe are sparse, we're kind of adding them in there. And so, but like my daughter, who's 25, she just takes the end of that brush that Cindy just showed you, and she fills in with the hazelnut.
Mm-hmm. That little liner end is the one that she uses. Okay. Got those done. And then I'm going to move to our tinted brow gel, which we do have that in just a clear gel too. So if someone doesn't really need to add any more color to their brow, but they want to make them stay in place and look manicured, as I say, you could use the clear gel brow gel that we have, but I like the tinted because I have a few colors in my brows that aren't the color that I want them to be, and I want them all to show up. And so I use just this one is called Blonde, so I've used the brunette to do the outline. It's kind of like if you in a color book when you outline, but I'm going to fill in with the blonde, which is kind of a taupey color. We also have a dark blonde that gives you more of a gold, kind of a gold tint, but I just use this one that's a little taupey. That way it doesn't really make them darker, but will control them. And I just brush it over. It's got a little tiny spoolie like a mascara wand. And you just brush that over those. And there you go. Voila, you have your little frames around your eyes.
And what I'm doing is I'm filling in with one of our eyeshadows called Espresso. And sometimes you guys, and we even have a clear brow gel. Like say you're just, wanting to get it, get your brows to stay, you can. And yeah, so, and then, so I'm just filling those in, and I came over the Precision brow liner. So it kind of will grab it and it'll act as a pomade and keep it on. Now, if you were going to be outside for an outdoor wedding, this would be a great time to do another spray of the finishing spray, but I'm just going to do one more at the very end. So now while Cindy goes ahead and she's going to do her contour and things like that, I'm going to take you guys right over to our eyeshadows, cheeks, and finish up with lips. Okay. So on your eye card, you're going to have the lightest color of eyeshadow. And we start with that light color of eyeshadow because it acts as a highlighter and it highlights the eyes. It keeps your eyes looking a little bit more open than it normally would. Okay. Now we've treated our eyes. We've used the concealer and the under eye corrector as a primer for our eyes because it does help keep that eyeshadow on. So you're going to take that lightest color and you're going to go from lash line all the way up to your brow with that lightest color. So it's going to be just a light dusting and you're going to just take that light color. Now, when you have the actual color and not a demo, like you have more, you know what I mean? You have more product, but go ahead and grab that light color and you're going to just fill it in from your lash line up to your brow. Now, there's two more colors that you have. The second color is a mid-tone and the third color is an accent. Now, they don't always go in order on your look card. So you just have to know the darkest color is your accent color. So you can see which one is the lightest, and then you can typically see which one is the accent color, the darkest. So now I want you to go ahead and grab your mid-tone. With your mid-tone eyeshadow, you're going to apply it midway between your brow and your lashes. So it doesn't matter what your eye shape is for this tip or this technique. You want to go directly. You want to cut your real estate in half, as we say. So I have deep set and close set eyes. And so like for me, I'm going right across that brow bone that's right here. If you had a hooded eye, it would be like poofy skin right there. You just ignore it. You just go, you just cut it right in half and you go over. Cindy has a prominent eye, or sometimes they call it a basic eye. And so she's got adequate spacing on her lid and above her lid to her brow. And so you're going to see a couple of the differences of where we apply. We're then going to take a blending brush and go ahead and blend that second color so you don't see where it started and where it finished. And we're going to go ahead and do that one. And we just blend it in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go right to that third color. So that quickly, we're going to dip into our third color. My third color for this one is called Merlot. So I've used Biscotti. I've used, is it Dusty Rose? Heather Rose?
Mm-hmm.
What's the rose?
Dusty Rose.
Heather Rose?
Dusty Rose is the one. Yep.
And then Merlot as my third. Now, because of my eye shape, for my third color, it can just go on this outer edge out here. It does not go on my lid because it would give the illusion that my eyes were even smaller because I have smaller eyes. And if I put it on my lid, it would make them look beady. And which they already look real small without makeup on. And so here we go. I'm just putting it on the outer edge. Now, Cindy has a big enough eye that she can do that outer edge, but then she can turn it in like a greater than sign and come right down on her lid. And it doesn't make her eyes look like they're too small. Okay. So you're going to take it. And now I take a separate blending brush. So I have a blending brush for my mid-tone. And then I have a blending brush for my accent color. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm zhuzhing. I am just blending this in, zhuzhing away.
Zhuzhing away over here too.
And if I want to, yep, zhuzhing. And so then you just get to blend it. So the third color you're just putting a little bit on that outer wedge. And I don't know if you can really tell, like in the screen, but it's really nice because it does pull out your eye color. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is take one of our waterproof eyeliners, which again, you guys they don't give us little demos to get to you guys, but you can line with your accent color, the eyeshadow. You can, if you have one of those thinner brushes that you can do. And what I'm starting with is black. And the only deal with liner is if you line the bottom, you do need to go ahead and line the top. And so we're going to just go ahead and do that real quick. And then from here, Cindy usually goes to mascara. Now I'm going to put mascara on my bottoms because I have eyelash extensions on right now. So I don't need to add mascara to my tops. But Cindy's going to add mascara to hers. And you guys, I love our mascaras. Everybody loves our mascaras. And so the ones that she usually does is our Lash Intensity mascara, and then the Great Heights, and then the Panorama. So I'm not sure if she's got all three with her, but she's going to tell us when she's done her liner, which one she's going to go to. And the cool thing is she usually does one eye at a time, and you can see the difference of how the mascara just brings her eyes alive. Okay. So while she's finishing her eyeliner and while she gets to mascara, I'm going to have you guys go ahead over to your cheek color. And on my very used compact right here, these 4 cheek colors are what we call the cheek color brick. And so I take my brush, I go right across the cheek color brick. You can see, it's darker on that right side, lighter on the other. And you're going to take your cheek color that you have. You can apply it with a cotton ball. You can apply it with your fingers, but if you have a brush, it'll go on a lot better. And so I start putting that darker color lower and that lighter color like a highlighter. And I'm going to dip in again and do the other side. And so you're going to go ahead and add your cheeks. And while Cindy talks to you about her mascara, you're going to dip your finger into that little lipstick that you have right there and start to do your lips. And while she's talking to you about mascara, you're going to watch me use the waterproof lip liner to line my lips and fill them in while I'm doing the lipstick. So we can rock this out. So go ahead, Cindy.
Yes, so I just did Lash Intensity first. So that is one of our builder mascaras. It's actually our biggest va-va-voom. So it's not only going to color the lashes, but it also has some little kind of filaments. You can't see them. You're not going to be able to see them. They don't fall off or do any of that, but they are made into the formula so that it actually will bold up the lash and make it thicker and bolder, while also finding every little lash you have because of the way the brush is made. And then I am taking our new Great Heights. So it has a curved brush, which you can use to kind of plump up there down at the base a little bit. It also has a great conditioner for the lashes. So I did that. And then I'm actually going to add a little Panorama, just like Diane said. I have them all 3 here. And I have a speck that fell on my face, but I will leave that for later and flick it off when it's dry. And then our Panorama, actually the bristles, it has bristles on the end of the brush. So you can actually fuse the end and fan the lashes out. That's why I love all 3 of them. Our makeup artist will tell you that 6 coats of mascara is what they think is the minimum you should put on. So don't feel like putting on 3 different mascaras is a big deal, because you're actually just getting 3 of your layers if you didn't double layer it, which I kind of did. But there's the eye with mascara on it, and there is the eye without mascara, and you can always see majorly the difference. I really probably shouldn't have put liner on that one either, so you could kind of see that. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the brick myself.
So Okay, so you're gonna keep going while you do that, okay? And so I already have that on. I'm just gonna, and I did a waterproof lip liner on my lips. I'm gonna go ahead and touch just a little lip gloss because the color is bold enough. And I'm adding a little bit of the Sheer Illusion lip gloss. Then I'm gonna go ahead and spray again. And what we're going to do so that we can finish on time, you guys, is you're playing with your eyeshadows. She's finishing up her finishing spray. She's going to do her lips while we go. And then I'm going to go through like how the products come. How does it work? You know, when can you get them? How can you get them? Refix my hair, you know, as we do that. And then the only other thing I didn't show you guys is I do in my compact have a little highlighter. And so I love our little highlighters, you guys. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of highlighter and just highlight right above the cheeks like that, like so. And I kind of got a lot on there. So I'm going to take my powder brush and just kind of dust it back off. Okay. And you can add any of that like on your collarbone. You can mix it with your CC cream. I mean, there's so many different techniques. You definitely want to write down on your list what your next session you want it to be. You could do one of our advanced color Zooms like we talk about, and that we do 1 or 2 Saturdays a month. You can also sign up for this one again if there was a lot of information and you were like, okay, I need to listen to that again. Don't worry, other people do too. And it's just good to hear it and to try the different things. But we also have, if you haven't done Pampering in a Flash, then you're going to want to write that down. That's skincare plus 1 supplement. But then our ultimate spa night is called Hydra Session Happiness. So it's Hydrate Session Happiness. And so the fun thing with that one is we use 3 levels of exfoliant, 3 levels of hydration. We get our faces ready for bed. It is absolutely incredible. We have that on Zoom style, but we also have it on webinar if you don't want to be on the camera. And so I do like to go through those with you. So here at the end, one of the things that is we always say, you know, if you can put in the comment your favorite tip that you learned today, something that maybe was new to you that you hadn't heard before, and you know, so something like that. And then what was your favorite product you tried? So between the skincare and the color card or the CC cream, what was your favorite product that you tried? So if you could go ahead and do that, that would be awesome. So where are we? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to go fast. So here we go. Rock and roll. So, okay, so you're going to give yourself a virtual raffle. Then don't forget that other sheet. Give yourself a virtual raffle ticket for sharing in the comments what your favorite product was that you tried tonight. Okay, and then there are 3 ways that you can get the products that you fell in love with today. There are 3 ways, okay? So the first way is booking your next session. So all those sessions I just talked about, write down on your piece of paper which one you want to do next. Pampering in a Flash, Hydrate Session Happiness, or maybe the Advanced Color Zoom, okay? And we have the Hydrate Session Happiness in a Zoom and in a webinar, okay? So jot that down. Then here are all the sessions that we just talked about. So I'm going to skip over that. The second way you can get products tonight is by becoming a brand ambassador with Mary Kay. Maybe you were like, you know what? I feel like I could do this. I'd love to dip my toes in. I heard your stories. I really am thinking about saving some money and making some money with Mary Kay. I really want to be an influencer. I feel like I could put that makeup on and I could really share this with my family members and friends. So if that's the case, it's $35 to get started. And those pink sheep are here because, oh my gosh, they're just adorable. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Okay. So then the third way is to enjoy the deals and steals tonight for being on. And here is the set sheet that you should have in front of you right there. There are 3 pink bubbles here up at the top. The Princess for $205, the Queen for $305, the Cadillac for $405. And so the Princess set, you select any 4 sets on here. So we always recommend starting with skincare. If you're not on our skincare, then pick which set that you fell in love with, your Time-Wise Miracle set or the Repair Value Firm set. And then it tells you this Value Firm set is 4 sets and this Miracle set is 2 sets without the eye cream. When you add the eye cream, it counts as 3 sets. So that's kind of fun. Then you can jump down here. There's that Flawless Face set, which is 60, which is the foundation primer, the foundation brush, and then the foundation of your choice. And you can switch that one out for your CC cream if you liked the feel of your CC cream. There's a Flawless Eye set, so the oil-free eye makeup remover, the mascara, and an eyeliner. If you don't have a brush set that you love, brush set. And if it doesn't say that it counts as 1 set, it counts as 1 set. Okay, and there's a Flawless Prep and set. So that's the oil-free eye makeup remover, the micellar water, and then that finishing spray. The finishing spray is so popular, we have it on 2 sets. Here's the finishing set. So that is the translucent powder, the finishing spray, and that fluffy powder brush, you guys. And so all of these sets, you can take a look at them on your own. You can get into body care. You can use that dynamic wrinkle filler that you saw me put on. You could grab a set for your guys, but plug it in. So any 4 sets, you would get it for $205. No matter what the price comes up to, you can save up to $75. The Queen is $305 for 6 sets, and you can save up to $85. And the Cadillac is $405, 8 sets, and you can save up to $95. So you guys, as we finish up today, I want to say, grab that feedback form from your beauty consultant that she sent to you on email. That's how she gets credit for being with you today. And then just meet with her real briefly right after this so that she can hear what you liked, what you learned, what impressed you the most, what surprised you the most, what tip or technique did you learn that you want to practice a little bit more with your Mary Kay. And so we just want to thank you so much for being on. Cindy, did I miss anything?
Just be sure you screenshot over your friends that you're sharing with your consultant. So your everyday heroes or that little sheet and the sheet for the tallies.
Okay, awesome. We'll see you on our next one, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.